Alright guys, happy Homebrew Wednesday. It's James 92Y here. Get in here and say hi. But what I'm doing today is I've got an American Pale Ale. It's been in the fermenter about 7 days, and it's been settled. The specific grade has been settled for the last 2 days. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in secondary with the dry hops. I'm gonna do an ounce of Cascade and a ½ ounce of Amarillo dry hops. And I'm just going to show everything else I have is full except for this 6-gallon carboy. So I'm going to show a little thing that I've learned to do since I got the keg system with an empty keg to take up some of that headspace and to help your beer out, keep from oxidizing. But first off, I'm going to go ahead and put the hops into the carboy. Let me do this a different way here. My hands are clean. I sprayed sanitizer on them as well. I love the smell. Here's the beer I'm racking. It's been a little chilly at nights. Keeping that towel running has kept it right at 62 degrees fermenting. It's an a.p.a. 1054 OG, 35 IBUs, using Cascade and Amarillo hops. And then California American Ale White Labs yeast, WLP 001. And I kind of had an incident where my yeast vial was kind of very active, and I had sanitizer in my siphon, and I just let that run out until beer started running out. That way I'm not sucking on the siphon hose and then putting it straight in there. I can suck up some sanitizer and then go ahead and clean the outside with sanitizer, and then sanitizer starts and everything's sanitized. See how many times I can say sanitize. While that's going, I'm going to go ahead and, this has been in starts in. Go ahead and shake everything off that way it's not just dripping wet. That's what she said. Thumbs up if you love the smell of hops, especially a hoppy beer that's getting dry hopped. It's just amazing. But the trick I'm going to show, and I'm sure people's done it before, it may not have to do it, but I think it helps. Message received. That's my phone. Because of the headspace I'm going to have with the 6-gallon carboy. You know, it's going to come up to, you know, below this ring here. I got a lot of headspace and minimum amount of fermentation. So I'm going to not only lose some CO2 that's embedded in the beer itself now, but it's going to have a long time to fill that headspace up, because it's the hops are going to help release some residual CO2, if I said that right. But I don't like taking a chance, especially on a beer that I worked so hard on and had baby. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook everything up to my keg, to an empty keg, CO2 beer line, and then once I'm done here, I'm going to stick the the siphon, the racking cane, into the headspace and shoot it with CO2 and just swirl it around a little bit, push all that oxygen out of the headspace, and pull it up as I have it, and have the tip on the racking cane itself, so the CO2 is kind of pushing up and away from everywhere, and that'll help push the oxygen out, up and out. And once that's full, then I put my airlock on, and I don't have to worry about any oxygen, dirty oxygen or anything being in the headspace. Alright, now that I've got everything racked into the new carboy here, and dry hops were already in when I done that, as you've seen. I don't know why I'm repeating myself. It's going to be dubbed together. I've sprayed my racking cane and everything back down with Star Sand just to clean off, you know, the particles and stuff from the yeast cake at the bottom, if anything was on there. So I'm just going to utilize the clip that's on the racking cane and put it right at about an inch above wort level, or beer level now. I'm going to hook my CO2 up. And it's about 10 psi. Doesn't have to be anything, a lot of pressure or a little bit of pressure, nothing special. Notice it's just air. So now we're just going to hold this right on it, pump CO2 up in there. The racking cane hose does not fit into or on the picnic tap. I'm just holding it up there, putting CO2 in it. Now I'm going to raise it up just a little bit, just in case. Push some more out. And then take my CO2 off so it stops filling up. Here's my airlock. Go ahead and pull it out, put that in. I've got Star Sand in this bucket here. And I'm going to fill this up with, to the fill line, of course. And there we go. We have dry hopped beer that doesn't have a bit of oxygen other than anything you introduced into the beer while you were transporting it over into this carboy. But if you had a 5-gallon carboy and you know, this about right here down would be about the headspace you had, not much to worry about because it's going to create some CO2. Just recently did a beer. It's kind of my version of a Bud Light Lime. Just a little more IBUs, a little more hoppier, and I used fresh lime peel and just a tad bit of lime juice to bump it up just a little bit. But I just wanted to show it. It's been a couple days since I poured. We'll pour half a glass. Look how clear. I used gelatin. Just used it because it's a really clear beer. Used Pilsen malt and some care pills for body, but wasn't too worried about it. But it's just I don't usually do. This is my first actually time doing gelatin to clear the beer, but I put the when it went to secondary, stayed in secondary for about a week, then I put the gelatin in it and put it in the fridge and let it sit for 2 days, and then kegged it. And first pour was just a little cloudy. I just moved the keg yesterday. Had to move it to make some room for some other beers that I'm taking to a party. As you can see, the boxes in there, and it kind of stirred it up. That's why the first pour was off. But I mean, there it is right there, clear as can be. I don't think it can be much clearer than that. too limey for me though. But anyways, guys, I just want to say happy Homebrew Wednesday. I haven't been on in a while. Just been kind of busy. So cheers to everybody, and keep them coming.